I'm Cheyenne Bernier, and about 1 month ago, I was called up to the office for about 15 or 20 minutes during my last hour English class because my principal wanted to talk to me, and he wanted to talk about an email that I sent to all 5 of you board members. And apparently, Mrs. Knecht, something I said had threatened you. Mr. Nunez pointed out the statement that concerned you, and it said, "I'm sure you all have heard about the shooting at Columbine High School. It happened during lunch. 15 people died. If that was to happen at Sunrise or any school in any district, I don't want to be a part of it." I would like to know how that's so threatening because I don't understand. Mrs. Knecht, I want you to know that you were not the one that was threatened. I was. Mr. Nunez told me that he could have contacted the police and gotten them involved with the situation. And I don't appreciate being bullied like that. I've never been involved with the police before, and I don't plan on getting in trouble with them anytime soon. So I spent at least an hour on that email to make sure I didn't say anything bad to you guys. But having my principal pull me out of class to threaten me wasn't at all what I had pictured for that day. And Mrs. Knecht, if you have the slightest problem with an email...
No, she's allowed to finish.
All right, go right ahead.
She's allowed to finish. But you can comment when we're finished with the public comment section. Then at that time you can address.
If you have a problem with an email that someone sends you have to press reply and reply to them. I'm honestly really surprised that you didn't do that to me, but instead you got me in trouble and pulled me out of class so I can be threatened about sending emails to the governing board. Mrs. Rader wasn't threatened by it. She sent me a very nice reply, and I appreciate it.
Mrs. Knecht, please. Mrs. Knecht.
And I appreciate that very much. My point is that you shouldn't be so paranoid that you have to pull me out of class so that I get threatened with police action. I really don't appreciate that happening to me, so if you have a concern about anything with an email, please reply to them. Thank you.
May I respond now, please?
Actually, protocol is that all speakers, we have one more speak, and then we respond after they're finished. That's typically protocol.
And we've never made any allowances in protocol for you or Mrs. Rader. So by all means, let's hear the next speaker.
Mr. McGrew, you're up next. Thank you. That is our last request to speak.
Ms. Galbraith, if I could just add a point of clarification regarding one of the comments. It was actually district administration who had conversation with administration at Sunrise Mountain High School specific to comments that were made in the board meeting.
My comments were directed to Dr. Santarelli. How they got to Ms. Bernier through him and the principal and were related to me, I don't know. Ms. Bernier, you and your sister both alluded to the devastation to the people of Columbine, where my sister lives. I believe wholeheartedly that any reference, implied or otherwise, is completely irresponsible. And why you were not held more accountable for threatening that our actions, because the kiddies can't get in their car to go and get a taco for lunch, would warrant such frustration that they would be moved to something as Columbine, is more irresponsible and insensitive than I can fathom.